For some, a road is simply a way to get from point A to point B, but for a rare breed of traveler, the road itself is the destination. There is a unique, addictive magic that happens when you grip the steering wheel and stare down an endless ribbon of asphalt that cuts through the wildest landscapes on Earth. It is a delicate, heart-pounding dance between total freedom and extreme danger. A single mistake, a momentary lapse in focus, or a sudden change in weather can instantly turn a dream journey into an absolute nightmare. Yet we keep driving, because the world's most nerve-wracking roads also guard its most breathtaking rewards. From nail-biting cliff edges with zero guardrails to hypnotic desert expanses that stretch completely into the horizon, we are mapping the ultimate asphalt adventure. Strap in, check your brakes, and hold on tight. These are the 10 most beautiful and dangerous drives on the planet. Deep within the rugged heart of the San Juan Mountains in southwestern Colorado sits a 25-mile stretch of U.S. Route 550 that will test the nerve of even the most seasoned driver. This is the Million-Dollar Highway, connecting the historic mining towns of Silverton and Ouray. This legendary road climbs through 3 intense mountain passes, reaching a dizzying peak of over 11,000 feet at Red Mountain Pass. But it isn't just the extreme altitude that will make your palms sweat. It is the structural design of the road itself. The most infamous sections are cut directly into the vertical walls of Uncompahgre Gorge, featuring narrow lanes, blindingly sharp switchbacks, and a total absence of guardrails. The reason? Local road crews need to let massive winter avalanches slide cleanly off the cliffs rather than building barriers that would trap snow and crush vehicles. One wrong tire placement means a straight, vertical drop of 1,000 feet down to the rocky canyon floor below. Yet, if you can steel your nerves long enough to look past the edge, the scenery is profoundly epic. You are surrounded by sweeping views of jagged, snow-dusted peaks, abandoned gold mines rusting in the Alpine air, and dense aspen forests that turn a brilliant, fiery gold in the autumn. The road is a masterpiece of early engineering, offering an intense, unforgettable rush of adrenaline wrapped in the raw majesty of the Rocky Mountains. Stretching over 600 miles along the sun-soaked coast of California, State Route 1, better known as the Pacific Coast Highway, is widely celebrated as the ultimate coastal drive. But while casual daydreamers imagine a relaxed, smooth cruise under the West Coast sun, the reality of the PCH is a masterclass in high-stakes, cliff-hugging engineering. The true, Dramatic heart of this drive lies within the legendary region of Big Sur, where the massive Santa Lucia Mountains crash directly into the raging waters of the Pacific Ocean. Here, the asphalt narrows into a winding, two-lane path that mimics every single contour of the vertical coast, balancing hundreds of feet above a violent, rock-strewn shoreline. Navigating the PCH requires absolute, unyielding focus. The road is constantly subject to heavy, blinding marine fog that can roll in within minutes, reducing visibility to nearly zero. Furthermore, the geology of Big Sur is intensely unstable. Torrential winter rains regularly trigger massive mudslides and catastrophic rockfalls that can completely swallow entire sections of the highway, cutting off communities for months at a time. Yet, crossing architectural marvels like the Bixby Creek Bridge, while the afternoon sun turns the vast ocean into liquid gold, is a transcendental experience. It is a drive where the raw, untamed power of the Pacific meets the absolute edge of the American continent. Located deep inside the pristine wilderness of Glacier National Park in Montana, the Going to the Sun Road is an absolute marvel of engineering that spans 50 miles across the park's wild interior. Completed in 1933, after decades of brutal manual labor, this narrow, high-altitude path crosses the Continental Divide at Logan Pass, sitting at an elevation of nearly 6,700 feet. To drive it is to feel as though you are operating a vehicle along the very roof of the world. The central section of the highway is a narrow shelf cut directly into near-vertical glacial mountain walls, leaving drivers with a massive stone wall barrier on one side and a terrifyingly deep drop into pristine alpine valleys on the other. The turns are exceptionally tight, and oversized vehicles are strictly banned due to the impossibility of navigating the narrow rock overhangs. In many spots, glacial meltwater cascades directly out of the mountainside, splashing across the windshield as you drive through the spray. The road is only open for a few short months over the summer, as winter storms regularly dump up to 80 feet of snow on Logan Pass, requiring months of dangerous plowing just to reveal the asphalt. The reward for this nail-biting trek is unparalleled access to sweeping views of ancient glaciers, turquoise alpine lakes, and wild mountain goats grazing right along the edge of the asphalt. on the rugged southeastern coast of Australia. A 240-kilometer stretch of asphalt represents the world's largest war memorial. Built by returned soldiers between 1919 and 1932 to honor those lost in World War I. The Great Ocean Road winds through an incredibly diverse landscape of cool temperate rainforests, wild surf beaches, and dramatic cliff tops. But what makes this iconic drive truly dangerous is the raw, elemental fury of the Southern Ocean, which violently batters the coastline with relentless, massive swells tracking straight from Antarctica. The road is constantly exposed to wild, unpredictable weather and intense gale force winds that can physically push a vehicle across the lanes. The asphalt hugs the unstable limestone cliffs tightly, carving through blind corners that open up suddenly to reveal jaw-dropping ocean panoramas. The ultimate highlight of this journey is driving past the 12 Apostles, a collection of massive, majestic limestone sea stacks that rise proudly out of the roaring ocean surf. Over the centuries, the violent waves have slowly eroded the mainland cliffs, isolating these giant stone pillars in the water. Driving this coast at sunrise, with the ocean spray hanging thick in the air and the golden light illuminating the fragile stone arches, is a powerful reminder of nature's endless cycle of creation and destruction. Described by legendary journalist Charles Currall as the most beautiful drive in America, the Beartooth Highway is an intense, high-altitude mountain pass that scales the rugged border between Montana and Wyoming. Spanning 68 miles on U.S. Route 212, this extreme road climbs an unrelenting sequence of steep mountain switchbacks, ascending from dense pine forests up into a stark, windswept alpine tundra that sits at a breathtaking 11,000 feet. Driving here feels less like a traditional road trip and more like navigating a highway across the surface of the moon. The danger on the Beartooth is entirely dictated by the wild volatility of the weather. Even in the absolute middle of the summer, the highway can be hit by sudden, violent blizzards, dense freezing fog, and destructive gale force winds that can drop visibility to absolute zero within seconds. There are no trees or guardrails on the highest plateaus, just vast, rocky expanses and steep drop-offs into deep glacial cirques below. The road is typically closed for over half the year due to massive snow drifts that bury the route. But for those who brave the climb when the gates open, the payoff is immense. You are treated to panoramic views of ancient glaciers, crystal-clear alpine lakes that remain frozen well into July, and a profound sense of isolation on one of the highest, most rugged highway plateaus in North America. If you want to experience the true, mythic scale of the American Southwest, you have to leave the cities completely behind and head out into the vast expanse known as the Grand Circle, encompassing a massive loop through Nevada and Arizona. This legendary driving route connects some of the most geologically significant landscapes on the planet. The danger out here isn't found in tight cliffside curves or icy mountain passes. It is found in the sheer, unforgiving hostility of the desert environment itself. The roads are incredibly long, straight, and isolated, cutting through sweeping plains where summer temperatures regularly soar well past a punishing 110 degrees Fahrenheit. A simple mechanical breakdown or a failure to properly monitor your fuel gauge can quickly turn into a life-threatening survival situation in an area with zero cellular service and no water for miles. But if you are prepared for the isolation, the Grand Circle offers an unparalleled journey through an ancient, monumental world. You will drive underneath the shadows of giant red rock mesas in Monument Valley, skirt the massive, sheer rims of the Grand Canyon, and cruise across the alien, baked mud flats of the Mojave Desert. It is a drive that strips away the noise of modern life, leaving you entirely alone with the vast, silent beauty of the desert earth. While California's coast is famous for its bright sun and golden sand, the northern continuation of the Pacific Highway along the Oregon coast offers a completely different, profoundly moody experience. Stretching over 300 miles, Oregon's Highway 101 is a legendary route where deep, primeval temperate rainforests collide directly with a violent, fiercely rugged ocean. This is a drive defined by atmospheric drama, where thick blankets of sea mist and low-hanging storm clouds frequently envelop the asphalt, creating an eerie, mysterious driving experience. The danger here stems from the combination of wet, slick roads, tight coastal curves, and the unpredictable nature of the Pacific Northwest weather. Localized landslips and heavy coastal erosion constantly threaten the integrity of the asphalt. The route takes you over historic, weathered bridges and past dramatic lookouts like the Samuel H. Boardman State Scenic Corridor, where jagged, black basalt sea stacks rise like dark monoliths out of a churning, white-capped gray ocean. The shoreline is littered with massive, bleached driftwood trees tossed onto the sand by violent winter storms. Driving Highway 101 requires you to slow down, turn on your headlights, and fully immerse yourself in a landscape that feels raw, wild, and beautifully untamed by human hands. In 1986, Life magazine famously designated U.S. Route 50 through the heart of Nevada as the loneliest road in America. Warning travelers that there were absolutely no attractions along the route and recommending that drivers possess survival skills just to cross it. Rather than taking offense, Nevada embraced the title, and today, this legendary stretch of highway remains the ultimate rite of passage for those seeking true geographic isolation. Spanning hundreds of miles across the Great Basin Desert, the road is an endless sequence of massive, hypnotic straightaways that stretch directly into the horizon. The danger on the loneliest road is psychological. The sheer monotony of the landscape, mile after mile of flat sagebrush valleys separated by rugged, repetitive mountain ridges, can easily induce highway hypnosis, a dangerous trance-like state where a driver operates the vehicle completely automatically without any conscious memory. The gaps between tiny, historic mining outposts are immense, meaning there is absolutely no help, no fuel, and no water for huge stretches of tarmac. But for those who appreciate the poetry of an empty road, Route 50 is a spiritual experience. The sky out here feels massive, unconfined by mountains or buildings, turning into a brilliant canvas of deep purple and gold at sunset, followed by a night sky so dark you can see the glowing dust of the Milky Way with the naked eye. Tucked away in the extreme northwestern corner of the contiguous United States, the Olympic Peninsula Loop on U.S. Route 101 offers a mesmerizing journey through an environment that feels entirely prehistoric. Encircling the massive, wild interior of Olympic National Park, this 300-mile loop winds through some of the largest temperate rainforests on the planet, including the legendary Hoh Rainforest. The driving environment here is intensely atmospheric, with the road cutting through dense, dark tunnels of giant, centuries-old cedar and spruce trees that grow right to the edge of the asphalt. The primary danger on this loop is water. The western side of the peninsula receives up to 140 inches of rainfall every single year, creating conditions that are constantly slick, muddy, and prone to sudden flooding. Thick curtains of hanging club moss drape down from the canopy, absorbing the sound and creating a completely silent, almost eerie driving environment. Deers and massive Roosevelt elk frequently step out from the dense undergrowth directly onto the road, requiring drivers to maintain constant vigilance. But to drive through these emerald green corridors while a soft, gentle rain falls, watching the mist dance between the massive tree trunks, is to experience a level of primordial peace that exists nowhere else on Earth. We close our epic journey on the most famous, nostalgic highway in human history, the Mother Road. Commissioned in 1926, Route 66 originally spanned over 2,400 miles from Chicago all the way to the beaches of Santa Monica, California. Serving as the ultimate symbol of American freedom, migration, and the romance of the open road. While the highway was officially decommissioned in 1985 after being replaced by the modern interstate system, large, historic segments have been preserved as a national scenic byway. The danger on Route 66 today comes from its decayed infrastructure. Many of the original, bypassed asphalt sections are heavily weathered, cracked, and potholed, requiring careful navigation through completely abandoned ghost towns. Services can be incredibly sparse, and old, narrow bridges require caution. But driving Route 66 is an intentional journey back through time. It is a living museum of mid-century Americana. Lined with beautifully restored neon-lit diners, quirky roadside attractions, and vintage gas stations that look exactly as they did in the 1950s. As you cruise through the dusty, golden plains of Texas and New Mexico, watching the long shadow of your car track across the historic tarmac, you realize that this road isn't just a route across the country. It is a journey into the very soul of the great American road trip. Ten legendary drives, 10 incredible routes that remind us that the greatest journeys in life aren't about how fast you arrive, but how deeply you feel the road underneath your tires. The asphalt will always call, but it is up to you to answer. If this high-octane cruise across the world's most beautiful and dangerous highways got your heart racing today, make sure to absolutely smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell right now. We chart the planet's most extreme journeys, viral driving routes, and hidden adventures every single week, and you definitely won't want to miss our next expedition. Before you park the car, drop a comment down below and let me know, which of these 10 dangerous drives would you honestly be brave enough to tackle first? Until our next road trip, keep your eyes on the horizon, watch your speed, and never stop exploring the wild wonders of our world.